Hello, gore horrors and fellow deadites. I'm Brennan,
I'm Sam,
and welcome to Our Life in Horror.
and we just finished recording a Halloween video with some friends at A&B horror movies, so we're
Yep.
dressed up. But we are doing a review on the new French film MADS.
MADS, it just released a Shudder.
Romain, t'as l'air tout paniqué, t'as fait exprès ou quoi?
Yes, and the director is David Moreau. He did the French film Them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which we watched last year, I think.
Yep.
It's got a 6.5 on IMDb, 93% on Rotten Tomatoes, and it says 18-year-old Roman has just graduated and makes a stop at his dealer's place to try a new pill. As he heads off to a party, he sees an injured woman on the side of the road and decides to help her. But when she gets in his car, she suddenly smashes her own head against the dashboard, bleeding out until she dies. This is starring... Oh no, there's no photos, so I don't know who it is.
I just do the first three, probably.
Lucille Guillam, Lori Pavey, Milton Reach. Yeah, so spoiler-free thoughts.
Well, the description's a little off to what actually happens in the film, but...
A little, yes.
They definitely toned that down a little bit. This is also a one-shot for an hour and 28 minutes. I think.
Yeah. Really cool.
Yeah, it was well acted. It's interesting. I think it's a good. I'm not going to spoil what I think it actually is, because I think it does leave some ambiguity for a little bit of whether or not they are actually just tripping on this new drug, or if they're experiencing is actually what they're experiencing. But I think it's well acted. It's very very interesting. I do like the switching of characters' POVs. Well, not POVs, but how they seamlessly switch from following a character to following a character to following a character, because I was wondering how they were going to keep that momentum up.
Yeah, I love that too. When we get into the spoiler section, I want to talk about who your favorite person to follow was.
Okay.
Yeah, I loved the one-shot aspect of this. It was really cool cinematography. Like you said, well acted. I just had a lot of fun with this one, and it was very unhinged at times. It gave me anxiety at the beginning. I don't know why. I had like a lot of anxiety the first half of this movie.
I can understand why.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I loved it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was very good.
Yeah, and it's subtitles. I know some people have a hard time watching movies with subtitles, but I didn't feel like it was a hard one to watch, because there's a lot of times you're just watching what's happening.
Yeah.
It's slow dialogue.
Yeah, I can see there maybe being a couple segments with a bit of an issue, but on honesty, I don't think it's that hard to follow.
No. Yeah, highly recommend this. It's on Shudder, I think you mentioned.
Yes.
Yeah. You want to get into spoilers?
Yes, so we're getting into spoilers about MADS. If you haven't seen it yet, cut the video off, go watch it, and come back and check the rest of the review.
Yes. So we start off following Roman.
Yes.
Roman is getting his fix.
Yep, he's picking up.
He's picking up, and when he leaves, we get an amazing title card.
Yep, which we didn't get to post yesterday.
I know. I usually post title cards on our Instagram of what we're watching, and I jumped the gun because I just posted a photo of the beginning, I think, because I wanted to focus on the reading of the subtitles. So yeah, after I saw that title card, I was like, missed opportunity. Yep. Kind of reminded me of Evil Dead Rise in a sense.
Yeah, me too. I got the vibes.
Yeah. So that was really cool. This girl jumps out in front of his car. I thought that was an animal at first.
I can see why. I wasn't sure if it was like some sort of creature or what it is, but it is a girl escaping a I'm just gonna say it's a testing facility. Because that's exactly what it seems like. And she has no fingerprints, she has no teeth, and tongue. I believe they took her tongue too.
Yeah.
And it looks like she's wearing it's not a bald cap, but her head is wrapped in bandages. And then she viciously starts to stab herself in the neck.
Yep, and that's how we start this movie.
And that's when the first course of, I'm going to say, infection starts.
Yeah. So yeah, this was anxiety inducing when he like has to drive her home, and like she's just sitting in his garage and he's off showering and his dad calls. It's wild.
He doesn't have to. I was half expecting him to drop her off somewhere.
Drop her off somewhere?
Yeah.
Yeah, he could have, but maybe his prince would have been on her.
Yeah, he's in total shock because he's also carrying drugs. So
Well, exactly. He's high, so yeah. Because he thinks about calling the police and doesn't.
He does, and then I think he just
hangs
leaves.
up.
Yeah, he leaves the
Yeah.
location so they can't track him.
Yeah. And then at his house, his dad calls, and we find out it's his birthday. His dad's coming home. And then his lady friend shows up.
Yeah.
And they end up all of their friends end up showing up, and they're making lots of noise and honking the horns, and
They go to a party.
yeah, they end up going to this party, and we find out he's hooking up with this other girl too,
Julia.
And Julia and Anna are upstairs doing their stuff, and Julia fakes overdosing, which got me.
Yeah.
When she starts foaming at the mouth, I was like, that is the worst prank you could ever pull on someone.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
I thought the same thing too. This is also where we get to see the start of a transformation because Roman's eyes develop. I'm gonna say they develop what dogs and other animals do to enhance their vision at night.
Mhm.
So they're almost like night vision eyes now.
Mhm.
So they glow in the dark essentially.
Yeah, when he puts that mask on and is looking in the mirror and he's just like shaking, it's creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another thing, on the car ride to the party, you can tell he's like acting all like he's looking at the lights and stuff, which we learn at the end is part of it.
Yeah, it's like a mild symptom.
Yeah, they're like attracted to the light.
Yes.
And it makes them stronger.
That's what was said.
Yeah. But yeah, he ends up getting a phone call at this party from his dad that someone is in their house because he has an alarm system, and they can see it all virtually. Is that the word?
Yeah,
Like
they got
from-
cameras in the house.
Yeah. So someone's moving in the house, so he ends up having to go home.
But before then, he makes out with Julia,
Oh yeah,
and he beats the shit out of somebody.
he beats the shit out of somebody.
Yeah. So in my mind, Julia should have been infected right there.
Yeah.
And then I was wondering if, while he was beating up the other guy, punching him in the face, he might have cut his knuckle and bled in the one guy's mouth that he was beating
Oh.
up. So then you have your second infection. Because I was trying to plan out how this infection kind of spreads.
Yeah. Yeah. Did they say it was through blood?
Yes.
Yeah. So him making it with Julia, it's because he has blood on his. Did he have blood on his face?
No, not at that point.
So why would she?
Well, that's what I was wondering, if it was going to be like a traditional infection zombie type movie, because I'm not going to call it a zombie movie. It's more of an infection. They're almost like 28 days later zombies.
Okay.
But yeah, he does not have any blood because he had already washed it all off by then.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't seem to be spread by saliva.
No. Yeah, so then after beating the crap out of his friend, he ends up going home, and that girl is in his house.
She's in the bathtub.
In the bathtub.
Yeah.
Trying to pull out like a, I don't know,
It looks like a tracker.
a tracker. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was thinking too. And she's creepy.
She is. Yeah, it reminded me a lot of like Martyrs.
Yeah, I get that. The way she moves and stuff on the floor, and she's creepy. And then there's that hallway shot of her.
Yep.
And then there's like, I'm guessing it's the people running the
facility.
I thought it was like SWAT or something, but
Basically, they're mercenaries.
yeah, they've got their guns and stuff, and they're after basically anyone that's infected, I guess. So they're in his house. And I was trying to figure out if they were actually there, if he was tripping.
Exactly. That's what I like about it too, is because for a lot of the movie, you can almost debate if they're just high or not.
Yeah, exactly. And then what happens after that? He leaves.
He leaves, yeah. He escapes through a cornfield, and then walking down the street, he ends up getting picked up in a van. And then we follow, what's her name?
Anna.
Anna walks by the van, and then we start following her point of view.
Yeah. Okay, so who's your favorite person to follow? Roman, Anna, or Julia?
I liked Roman,
I liked Anna.
and I know why. Anna's a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah. She reminds me of like someone that would portray like an evil clown in a movie, like a female evil clown.
Yep.
Just the way she walks and like laughs and stuff. I'm just like, I'm obsessed with her.
Yeah, for some reason, the first thing that came to mind for me was Brenda from Urban Legends.
Oh, that's a good one too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we're following Anna, and she is in an Uber, I guess.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that's an Uber.
And that team of, we'll call them SWAT for now, facility SWAT, whatever, are following them. And the Uber driver gets out to figure out why they're being followed, and he gets shot.
Yeah, immediately.
Yeah. And then she takes the car. And when does she start like changing? I guess when she gets to the bar.
Yeah, because she leaves the car because it has a flat tire, and then she gets shot a bunch.
Yeah.
So that's when it's almost like when you die, that's when I think you'll slowly turn, but if you die beforehand, then you just turn.
Okay.
And these aren't mindless infected either. They do think about what they're doing, and they are conscious essentially. They just have almost no control. It's like a combination of the sadness and 28 Days Later.
Okay. Yeah. So she goes into a bar and convinces them that people are after her, and she has to lock the doors.
Yep.
And she goes into the bathroom, and she's insane.
Well, she realizes that she's been shot like 8 times.
Yeah.
And she's come to the realization that she's no longer alive. She is dead.
Yeah, she takes her clothes off, and it's just like a mangled torso.
Yeah. This is also where her eyes change.
Yes.
She jumps through the window because the SWAT people have showed up, and it's like that. This is like another moment where you're not sure if what's happening in the bar is happening, because you see the SWAT guy through it's like a weird glass that you can't see totally through, but if somebody was standing behind it, you can get like the outline.
Okay.
And they start laughing, and then she jumps out the window, and then she goes to meet Julia at the train station. But on her way, she decides to spread some carnage of her own.
Yeah, the underground tunnel.
Yep.
She just like freaks the girl out.
Yeah. No, she beats her up, doesn't she?
I think she like attacked her like on her way out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just funny how she just kind of like laughs about it, and then you can kind of see at times she's like crying too, because it might be like her actual self coming through a bit.
Yep.
And then she attacks the guy at the water.
Yep. And steals his bike.
Yeah. And then she ends up meeting up with Julia.
Yep. And this whole time she's also been riding by light posts that are on, and she's looking at the light posts, and then we get the where she meets up with Julia.
Mm-hmm. And they end up on her scooter.
Yep. I was like, there's no possible way that I would have kept her on the bike for that long.
No, they would have crashed, or she would have just pushed her off.
Yep.
Like she was just attacking her face with blood.
Yeah, rubbing it all over.
Acting insane, and this was like probably my favorite part of the movie.
Okay. Yeah. She also bites her neck.
Yeah.
That seemed to be the last part, but like she's like shoving her blood in Julia's mouth and stuff like that. So she's infected, and then she ditches Anna and continues to drive the bike to go to her mom's house. And this is where we get like the powers, the enhanced abilities start to come out, because you can see Anna like running and catching up, and then you see her kind of like sprint by stuff real fast, like fucking with the Julia.
I love that too. Kind of see her in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was really well shot. So yeah, it's an apartment building they go to.
Yep.
And she gets in the elevator, Julia.
Yep.
Julia. Yeah, now we're following Julia.
Yes. Yeah. We
Um,
switched to Julia's POV.
Yeah, and she gets in the elevator, and the elevator ends up shutting down, and you can hear Anna basically killing people.
Yep.
Outside of the elevator.
hmm
And then the elevator starts going, and she ends up upstairs, I guess.
Yep.
With the SWAT person.
Well, she rips off Julia's mom's face first, like eats her face.
Anna does.
Anna does.
Yeah, we see her eating her face. Yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention the shot where she's like, when she gets into the elevator and she's waiting for it to close, and then you just see Anna jump through the window right as the thing closes.
Yeah.
It freaked me out.
Yeah, that was good.
So yeah, when she gets upstairs, she's Anna's eating her mom's face, and then Julia meets up with the SWAT person.
Yep, which you can't tell if it because they're using voice modulators as well. So I had no idea it was a woman.
No, me neither.
I thought it was a man.
Yeah, me too. Because when she takes her mask off,
yeah,
I was shocked.
This is where Anna also bites the dust. It seems like multiple bullets to the head seems to put them down.
Mm-hmm.
So another very zombie-esque.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, the SWAT person realizes that they've been infected, I guess. She's got a big gash on her leg. And she gives the gun to Julia to protect herself.
Yep.
And I guess she had another gun?
Yeah, they always have a sidearm.
Okay, because I didn't see her holding one, so that's why I was like, whoa, what just happened?
It'd be like, that's your main gun, and then you always have a side pistol for backup.
Well, I don't carry, so...
Yeah, that's just how it goes in video games.
Yeah. So yeah, she ends up just offing herself because she knows she's gonna...
Yeah, and then you get the list of symptoms, how long it takes, kind of stuff. So basically, it's an exposition dump right before the end of the movie. You get they're attracted to light, and light makes them stronger. You cannot ingest their blood. If you haven't, then you'll be safe. And to get out of the city as soon as possible. Then we get Anna. Julia is sitting against the window, and she's laughing maniacally, kind of like in Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And you see big explosions going on in the background, and then the city loses power, and then that's it. I wish we would have got to see like a shot of her laughing, and then her eyes just change.
Oh, yeah, that would have been cool.
Yeah, but I guess it leaves ambiguity if she was infected or not infected.
I think the way she was laughing.
Yeah, it's the start.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought the movie was great.
Yeah, I like this a lot more than I like Them.
Oh, me too. Everyone recommends Them, and Them is like the inspiration for The Strangers.
Yeah.
So I was really looking forward to it. It just didn't really do it for me.
Yep.
But this was really good. So what would you rate this?
I'm gonna give it a thumbs up.
I'm going to low 100.
Okay.
4.5.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't even know why I wouldn't give it the extra point, like the 0.5. I'm not sure.
I just like to rewatch it again.
Yeah.
Before I make first time watches, right? Like you really love it, but then you don't know how it's gonna hold up when I rewatch it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Let us know if you've seen it and what you think of it.
Absolutely. Go if you're not subscribed to Shudder, I highly recommend going and subscribing. They're always putting out new content.
Yeah, and let us know of like the French films, the French horror films. What movies do you like best? Because there's a lot of good ones.
Yep, and they're having a resurgence lately.
Yes. Please like, share, and subscribe.
And always remember to stay spooky.